Investor Paul Graham argues that building a billion-dollar company relies on a calculation with only two variables: your growth rate and how long you can sustain it. This chart traces a 15% monthly growth rate. If a startup maintains this pace for 5 years, it hits an exponential curve that turns a small product into a massive corporation. Historically, pushing that line upward required a massive human engine. The industry benchmark for a successful software company is roughly $300,000 to $500,000 in revenue per employee. That ratio meant that scale was always tied to headcount. Under these constraints, the only way to build a billion-dollar outcome was to construct a vast, expensive human infrastructure. You needed thousands of people to manage the complexity of that growth. But in 2022, 4 students at MIT founded an AI code editor called Cursor that completely bypassed those historical software benchmarks. They reached $3 billion in annualized revenue in just 3 years, becoming the fastest-growing software company in history. This comparison shows the shift in human output. While the best legacy companies generate $500,000 per person, Cursor reached $2 billion in revenue with only 300 employees. That is $10 million per person, a 20-fold increase in efficiency. This level of hyper-efficiency is what led Elon Musk to acquire the company for $60 billion, merging their technology into SpaceX. The historical link between revenue and headcount has been severed. When a team of 300 can generate the output of a corporation 10 times its size, the old rules of corporate scale no longer apply. Cursor achieves this leverage by embedding foundational AI models directly into the technical workspace, rather than requiring the user to navigate an external chatbot overlay. This shifts the AI from a tool you talk to into an active engine that routes information in the background. It anticipates the next step in a complex workflow and executes it before the human even asks. That same enterprise-level routing strategy is now being adopted by individuals. Solopreneurs are beginning to restructure their personal daily tasks to work at this same level of automation. The barrier to massive output is no longer the size of your staff, but how effectively you can design a system to route your own workflows. If we look at AI adoption on a 5-layer spectrum, most people never move past layer 1. They treat the technology like a glorified search engine, a manual process of asking questions and receiving answers that effectively bottlenecks their output. Layer 5 adoption involves a complete shift in architecture. Here, the AI is configured to operate as a fully autonomous digital workforce. This workforce operates entirely within a digital text and audio backend. It requires no physical studio space and no expensive recording equipment to produce massive amounts of content. You manage this workforce using skills, simple text files containing your specific logic and instructions. If you can define exactly how you want a task done, the AI can replicate that execution perfectly every time. By integrating these skills with a memory file of your business principles, the AI begins to act as a personal board of directors, aligning its autonomous decisions with your specific goals. By systemizing these instructions, a single creator can mathematically match the output of an entire team. But scaling this level of automation reveals a hidden constraint: the immense cost of the computing power required to sustain it. Cursor's growth was so fast that their compute bills outpaced their earnings. They spend $1.23 on computing for every dollar they brought in, creating a negative margin that made the SpaceX buyout a necessity for survival. Relying strictly on external models creates a financial drain. Without massive server infrastructure, hyper-accelerated growth can actually burn a business to the ground. This same trap exists for the individual. If you rely purely on AI to generate volume, you end up producing viral but thoughtless slop that eventually alienates your audience. AI solves the problem of speed, but it introduces new dependencies on expensive compute and the constant risk of declining quality. This brings us back to the first number in the billion-dollar calculation, the growth rate. Paul Graham argues that growth is ultimately a measurement of user happiness. You cannot reach an exponential curve without building something that people love, and building what people love requires empathy. Deciding what people actually want is a problem of human taste. AI can generate variations at infinite speed, but it cannot judge which one will genuinely improve a human life. The winners in this new era will be the ones who combine human empathy with the mathematical leverage of an automated digital workforce. If you find this valuable, please make sure to follow and subscribe. Rise, raise.